Good morning. State of the markets, July the 17th, and it's about 10:53 Central Time. So I want to talk to you briefly, if we can, about earnings next week, economic reports next week. What does the market look like, the overall picture? Is it a buy, sell? Should we hold? What should we do? I want to give you an update about some of the companies that I've invested in and where I stand, the good, the bad, and the ugly. Maybe go over a 5 minute day trade that I did a little earlier, uh, and anything else that I can think of. I'm going to show you uh, how we screen for stocks on the RSI 30, or how I do it. I'll show you a chart. This is a little bit of reiteration, but somebody that may have just picked up the channel, this may be beneficial to you. So the first thing we want to do is share our screen, and let's look at the state of the markets. Here's the S&P 500, and this is a year-to-date chart, pretty much 6-month chart. So you can see we're in a major uptrend since we hit a low around end of March, actually 330. So end of March, we got down to 629. And check out that RSI. It dropped below 30 two times right in that week. Great time to buy. We got up to 760.40. We hit the high, all-time high on June 2nd. And since we've been in this consolidation period, you can see since 6.2, we're just kind of in a channel, if you can see that line, and I think you can. Okay, so we're in an uptrend. We're at an all-time high, pretty close. Right now we're trading at 746.05. So, we're looking at 14 points from the all-time high, which is not a whole lot. We are overbought in a sense. Technically, we're not, because you can look and see. We know that overbought on the RSI 70, and right now as we speak on the daily, we're at 50. So we're in between there for sure. But buy, sell, or hold. Well, I'm holding. Okay, I don't think this is a time to put new money, but I do think it's not a time to sell. So I'm not selling the overall market. I'm just going to hold, and let's see what happens. So let's go to state of holdings here. Okay. So I bought several companies when the RSI clicked less than 30. So where are they? What are we doing? So the first one, a long time ago on 622, let me get my piece of paper here. 622, we bought Halliburton. Let's go to Halliburton first. And we bought Halliburton. And when it clicked below the RSI 30, right here, 622. So we bought it in here. It came down, came back out of it. Had a little bit of consolidation. And you can see on 622, I bought a September 1835 call. I actually bought three of them. I got three in parentheses. And my total cost is $769.99. They are announcing earnings on 7/21, so I'm waiting on that. I would like for that stock to move up toward earnings, and that is next week. So how do we stand? Right now, I am down $82.99. I paid $256 for three options, and they're trading at $229. My options expire September 18th. Okay, so not a lot of volume there. A little bit disappointed with that. Only 20 options have traded today, and not real excited about that. That stock is just not proving to be very good. Why? Because we're over the strike price of 35, and we're just not getting a whole lot of upward movement. We'll see though. The next one is Dow Chemicals. Dow Chemicals is catching a bid. It's up 1.59%. I bought it also on 622. RSI less than 30. I bought a 30 call that expires September 18. Total investment 305.66. They also have earnings next week, 7/23. Same deal. They're out of that RSI. They got down in it. We bought it. Now they're out. Does that mean we're going to be profitable with our trade? Well, we are not profitable. It's at 94. I'm down $94.16 as we speak. I paid 305 for that strike, for that call, 30 call, and it's not at the $30 mark yet. And it's traded right now at 211. So we're still underwater on Dow and on Halliburton, but looking pretty good toward earnings. And I feel like that both of those could catch a bid, could go up Monday, Tuesday, and certainly, I'll have a decision to make next week. If I'm down, not in the green, not in the black, when it comes to these two companies that are announcing earnings, I have a decision: go ahead and take my loss, or wait till after earnings. So I'll look at that next week. Next company is let's see, AT&T. AT&T, we bought it on 7/6, and they have earnings also next week, 7/22. We bought the September 18/20 calls, total investment $421.99. Stock has done really, really well. We bought it at the right time. There's no way you can do this perfectly, okay? There's no holy grail in trading and investing. You just you find good entries and then you wait. You have to be patient, okay? So how are we standing on AT&T? Well, AT&T, we have nearly doubled. We paid $140 for the calls. We bought 3 of them, and they're trading at $268.5. So we're up $383.51. So we've nearly doubled our money on that, but we're holding, okay? Because next week, again, we have those earnings events, and I feel like that the stock will still move up. So I'm going to hold on that. Okay. The next one we bought was Oracle, and I am taking a beating on Oracle. Okay. A lot going on with Oracle. So I'm going to pause just a little bit and give you some education and show you what I look at and the decision making that goes in between my ears. So number one, stock goes below 30 on the RSI. It's a good company. It's oversold. We want to buy good companies when they're oversold. Now look down at the bottom of the screen. You can see 3 red arrows. We bought it right here. Okay. We bought it right here. And I actually bought another one today. Okay. We're talking about calls. I bought this stock 3 times. Okay. It came out of the RSI 30, the green arrow, 1, 2, 3, and then it came back out of it. It's actually out of it right now. It's at 30.04, but it's at a problem. It comes out of it, then it comes back down. This has been an oversold dumpster dive of a company. Okay, so what I had to do, I had to go back on the weekly chart about 3 years and figure out, hey, where is my line in the sand? Where do I need to get out? Where do I need to say, okay, I'm going to cut my losses and I'm moving on? Okay. Even though I hate selling anything when it's RSI less than 30. But sometimes if you're taking a beating on something, you're better off to say, you know what, just bad timing. Let's move on. Okay. So that line in the sand is the line you can see. It's 118.44. And if you go back April of last year, it hit that. And I'm thinking if it gets below that, it's going to go to 100. Okay, so I've got a September 18 strike. I do have some time, but we're getting closer to that. And the closer you get to that, that theta decay will decay your option. And no matter what the stock does, you're not going to recover. So let's see what happens. I did buy another one today. I've got 3 now. And if you'll look right here, 7/17, that's today. I bought one at $6. Okay. I have 3, and my total investment in this company is $3,011.98. And I've got on here, sell less than 118. I've got down here, April low of 2025 is 118.44. Okay. So I bought another one on 7/14, which is earlier in the week. And the reason I did that is because IBM, and I've got that here. IBM had bad earnings and the stock goes down 23%. It's a software company. It pulls all software companies down. And I'm like, you know what? This is a good time to take advantage of that. So, and I've got on here software is getting killed, and Oracle is at 127 pre-market, and it went down further. Okay. And today it's catching a bid. I will say it's up 273. So how are we standing here? We got $3,011 in this company, 3,012 if you want to look at it that way. Okay. So right now I've got 3 strikes, or excuse me, I've got 3 calls. 150 is the strike. We need to get that to 150, long way from home. Okay. And it is selling, it's marking $7. So 3 times 7 is 21. So that's $2,100. So you do the math. I'm down 900. Let's call it 1,000. Let's just say it right now. I'm down $1,000 on paper on Oracle. Okay. Now what is our line in the sand? Less than 118. I'm out. Okay. Whatever the loss is, I'm out. Okay. I'm not going to tote that baby any further. Okay. All right. So, not doing great on Oracle, but we still have a little bit of time. It's catching a bid today. It's getting close to that, certainly year's support. And a lot of times institutions will come in and start picking up things. And to be quite honest with you, most of the time when you just get that feeling like I am so exacerbated with this thing, and I'm just down and out, and I don't know why this is not working. Most of the time, that's a great time to buy. Okay, when those emotions are hopeless, if you want to use that word. But I try to look at support and resistance, and we have major support at 118. We're still under the RSI of 30 for the most part, and so I'm thinking a good time to say, you know what, let's get one more, and then we'll cut our losses at less than the 118 major support level. Okay, so doing good on AT&T, not good on Oracle. We're doing okay on Halliburton, doing okay on Dow Chemical. Dow Chemical, Halliburton, and AT&T, all 3 announce earnings next week. I did pick up another company, I think yesterday, IONS, and I'm going to bring it up. It's a pharmaceutical company, biotech company. They announced earnings and pretty bad. Okay. So it's got an RSI right now of 24, way oversold. They have earnings on July the 29th. I mentioned that about, I can't remember. It was about a drug, not earnings, excuse me. So earnings 729, and I bought it 716, which was yesterday, and I got a September 18, 55 call, and I've got $489.66 in it. How do we stand today? In one day, I'm down $64. It's trading at 425, and I paid 489. Okay, so I'm going to wait on that. Good company, way oversold, and let's see how it does. And I've got a few weeks before we expire on that one, also September 18th. Okay, so we've covered Oracle, Halliburton, Dow Chemical, AT&T, IONS. I did a video about 2 companies. I did a video about Redwire being less than $10. And right now, Redwire is $8.58. It is not clicking yet. I don't believe. No, it's at 32. And then Tronox did get below the RSI of 30, and I purchased it. I did a video on that. You can't buy options on that. Full disclosure, I bought 1,000 shares, and I told you got to buy shares only. And I bought that yesterday. They have earnings August the 5th. It's a chemical company. I've got on here when I bought it, the RSI is at 29.61. You can see it there. I'll make it a little bit bigger. And I bought 1,000 shares at 575. No commissions on shares when you buy it. And the total investment, $5,750. Right now, the stock is at 597, 598 basically. But the more important point is it's down under the 30 RSI yesterday, and it's already back out today. Doing okay on that. Right here it is. Here's your full disclosure. There's 1,000 shares down at the bottom, 575. There's 597. I'm up $225. I'm looking to hold that stock for a little bit, and I think they may end up having pretty good earnings. I've been watching this stock for a long time. It's a good company. It's a pigment company that goes into paint, and when the housing industry turns around, my oh my, these chemical companies, these painting companies, Sherwin-Williams, Tronox, Dow, all of these will really catapult higher. But anyway, okay, so let's look today, right now, and let's go to FinViz, and let's just do a screener about what's selling less than 30 on the RSI. So we're going to stop sharing this screen, and we're going to share FinViz. And FinViz.com, as I've told you in the past, is a free site, lots of advertisements, so you just have to bear with that. But I go to screener, and I click on these technical metrics. I click all, and then it's going to populate everything. I go to the market cap, first column, and I click over 2 billion, so plus mid, over 2 billion. And every time you click something, it's going to populate the companies down at the bottom, okay? So the next thing I want to click, I'm looking for RSI, second column, oversold 30. So I'm clicking that. I just clicked it. Wow, 2 pages. We had 160 pages. Now we got only 2 pages of companies. And I want companies with an average volume, this is daily, of 1 million shares. We want them to be liquid so we can get in and so we can get out. And I want to go to the very last column. I want to click the United States under country. So I have clicked 1, 2, 3. I've clicked only 4 items that I want to filter. Over 2 billion, oversold, 1 million shares a day in this country. And I come down, and this is populated 16 companies right now. So right now, as we speak, at 11:11 Central Time, July 17, 2026, these are the 16 companies that FinViz has spit out for us that are RSI less than 30. And do you see anything on that page that piques your interest? You've got Alcoa, and as I go over, as my cursor moves over the stock symbol, you can see what populates the chart. And I could even go up in here and click that chart, or you can click the company and it will carry you to a chart, okay? And give you any kind of information. I don't really, here's my ons right here that we're in, okay? We know that that's less than 30. I don't see anything else that stands out to me. So why don't we I'm going to click this for demonstration purposes. So that you click the symbol, and you're going to get the chart. Okay, and you can scroll down, and it's got all kinds of financials. Okay, what is the short interest? We've got a 6.9% short interest. Not much short interest, which is good. Okay, you got most people that are long. But it's got all kinds of information in here that if you want to look at it, that might be something that you're interested in. It's even got the RSI. Look at this RSI, 2409. And then down at the bottom, you've got earnings per share, you've got sales, you've got the shares outstanding, and then you can come on down, and it's got a box where you got all the analysts. And it received a downgrade yesterday from Wolf Research. See this? From outperform to peer perform. And then May the 19th, you got initiated by Citigroup. It says buy, price target 115. So it gives you a history. Then you can go further down, and it's got all kind of news that you can click on. So a lot of information, and every bit of this is free from FinViz. So going back to the previous chart, there's nothing basically on here that I'm interested in today. We're already in Oracle, okay? We're already in Ions, and there's not another company on here that stands out for me, okay? Maybe you, but this is what I do. And this is how I shop, if you will, for stocks that are oversold, good companies. I'm going to stop sharing. I'm going to go back here, and I want to share a screen of a chart. So, and talk to you a little bit about that. You can go to stockcharts, excuse me, .com, and I'm going to show you exactly what I do with that. A lot of advertisements here. Nothing's free anymore, is it? So I'm going to go from the default chart, scroll down, and under the chart type, I'm going to click candlesticks. I like candlesticks. I'm going to click this year to 0, go over to months, 3 months, come down to indicators. It defaults to price performance. I don't care for that. I'm going to RSI, and then I'm going to click update chart. This is the chart I like to look at. I want my RSI at the top. Right now on Tesla, RSI is 43.52, and the MACD is crossed negative. But I don't want to look at Tesla. I want to look at something that was on the previous screen that we looked at, the RSI less than 30. So let's look at Oracle, okay? The one that I need lots of help on, okay, for sure. All right, so click on Oracle, and you can see that Oracle has come out. It's at 30.38. Now, that does not mean that it won't go back down in it. We may have a major sell-off between now and the end of the market. We still have 4 hours, okay? 4 hours left. That's a lifetime in the market. But the MACD is showing a little bit of positive divergence, meaning you see these this histogram going up, okay, and the price coming down. Price is going down, but the histogram is coming up. That's divergence, okay? It's going in opposite directions, and that's positive, very positive. That means that people are accumulating the stock, accumulating this stock as it comes down, looking at the future, looking at the long term. And you're looking at one of them. I've been accumulating call options, thinking that this stock is way, way oversold, and we're going to wait for it to come out. And hopefully we'll get that soon. If we don't, we're going to get out of it at 118, remember? But I want you to see, you can go to stockcharts.com, and this is a very good visual of that RSI. And we can go to IONS, IONS, and you can see the RSI, 2394. Terrible looking chart. Terrible. But look at this histogram down at the bottom. The last 3 days, it's up. It's moving this way just a little bit, not much. Okay. So that tells me that we've got some people coming in and purchasing, accumulating this company. Doesn't mean it won't come out of the RSI today or tomorrow. More than likely not today for sure. But we'll see. We've got some September 18. We got one call on that. One call option, so we've got a little time on that. I just wanted you to see this screen of stockcharts.com, and you can go in there and you can look at that chart, and I said it was free. I'll stop sharing there, go back and look at our chat. Our chat's okay. And let's look at earnings. Next week, we want to see what's coming up for earnings. Well, the earnings gate is opening. Tons of earnings. Look at this page. You've got Monday, Tuesday, all the way through Friday. You've got before the open. You've got after the close. And I'm looking at this for the first time, well, the second time, but I didn't really look at it. I just prepared for the video. But Monday, not a whole lot sticks out to me. Tuesday, whoop, there's Halliburton. We have Halliburton. Okay, so what will the stock do today, close to the close? But more importantly, what will the stock do Monday? Monday will be an important day for Halliburton. Are people going to hear that they're going to have good earnings and the stock gaps up? We'll see. But before the open Tuesday, Halliburton, my company that I'm in, announces earnings. So certainly that's important. Charles Schwab, which is the trading platform that I use, Thinkorswim, under the umbrella of Schwab. You got General Motors, you got 3M, that's Minnesota Mining and Manufacturing. If you don't know what that acronym stands for, that's a conglomerate. I don't have any Post-it, but they make pens, Post-it notes, Sharpies, yada, yada, yada. Okay. After the close, I don't see anything after the close. So Monday, nothing for me. Tuesday, Halliburton, certainly Halliburton. Wednesday, so before the bell, there's AT&T. We have AT&T. I'm certainly interested in that. You got Philip Morris. I'm sure people are still smoking, and not as much though, which is good. So really the main one before the bell Wednesday is AT&T. After the bell, the biggie, check this out: Tesla, Alphabet, which is Google, ServiceNow, IBM, Kinder Morgan, lots of those. Of course, the two big boys are going to be Tesla, which I own, and Google. Okay, and so what are they going to do? IBM, I think in Era mentioned earnings. They had a pre-earnings announcement this week that they were going to have these earnings that were not going to be acceptable. So they actually are going to report that next Wednesday after the bell. Won't be focused on that, but Tesla and Google, certainly. Those are two companies that will move the market. We will open up Thursday morning probably because of just those two companies. Okay, they have a lot. Both of them are in the top 10 in the S&P 500. And so they will certainly move the market. So you've got Tesla and Google after the close Wednesday. I'm interested in Thursday. You can look at it. You can see Nokia, American Airlines. You've got Cliff, Huntington Bank, our local bank that just took over Cadence that used to be Bancorp South, Bank of Mississippi. So there's your Huntington Bank. Ticker symbol HBAN will announce earnings before the bell Thursday. Tractor Supply, you ever been in there? They're going to announce earnings before the bell. I'll probably look at that. I don't have Tractor Supply. I had it back, I don't know, 3 or 4 months ago before I started doing these videos, and they were oversold, and I bought it and sold it. Don't even remember how we did on that, but I'll be looking at that. I'll check that out. Intel after the close. Big company will move the market, semiconductor company. And then Friday, you've got Verizon, you've got American Express. Those are the big boys as far as I'm concerned. And of course, everybody's different. If you have Kinder Morgan, KMI, that's important to you. But next week, we've got some really big companies that are announcing earnings, and these earnings will move the market. So be cognizant of that and know what the earnings are next week. Okay, so let's go to calendar, the economic calendar. So I go to marketwatch.com and it will give me what economic reports will be reported next week. Those move the markets too. CPI, PPI, GDP, the Fed speaking, yada, yada. So Monday, you've got not a whole lot. Now look at Tuesday, July the 21st, and Wednesday, nothing scheduled. No news. No news is good news. Thursday, you've got your every week, 7:30 Central Time, you're going to have jobless claims. You got the Kansas City Fed survey at 11, which means 10 for me. And you've got manufacturing PMI on Friday, new home sales. So here it is in a nutshell. Next week, we're not going to have any real big economic reports that are going to move the market. Certainly, in parentheses, you have to remember war, WAR. This war news just constantly pushing the market up, bringing the market down, pushing oil up, pushing oil down. So that's always in the back of our minds. But as far as economic reports next week, not a whole lot. So I'm going to stop sharing that, and I'm going to go back and let's share our screen with our trading platform, which is TIS. I use Thinkorswim. And let's go to the flexible and go to S&P 500. Okay. I want to talk to you real quick about 5-minute chart, RSI less than 30. I'll make this a little bit bigger. Maybe that's too big. And I'll show you a trade I did this morning. Okay. Every time you trade, you will not make money. You need to know that there's no holy grail. I mean, you just have to have a good entry. You got to wait for it. You have to be patient. And sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't. But more times than not, for me, when I'm patient enough and I wait for the RSI on the 5-minute chart, not the 1 minute, not the 3 minute, 15 or 30, the 5 minute, when I'm patient and I put in an order, when the RSI goes below 30 on the 5-minute chart, more times than not, it has worked. Okay. And it's worked 2 or 3 times this week. And today it worked. And right here's a classic example. If you can see, I put in right there at that arrow down here, you can see the RSI is at 17. And I've got a text box here explaining that. I entered at 8:35 Central Time, 5 minutes after the market's open. I entered. Why? Because the RSI clicked less than 30. It clicked at 17. Really negative. War. We're oversold. Everybody's selling tech. And I bought a July the 20th. That's Monday. I don't buy 0 DTE, 0 days to expiration. I don't do that. I always buy my calls or my puts next day or a couple days out. Okay, when I'm day trading, especially the indexes. Okay, all right. So I bought July 20, 741 call. Why 741? Because that's in the money. At the time that I bought it, it was right there in the money. As a matter of fact, do I have the price down? When I bought it, it was 741.03. Okay, and the VIX. And I haven't talked to you much about the VIX, but the VIX is over here. This is the volatility index. And I can click on that real quick, but the VIX was right here. Okay. It's way up there. I think it's like $2, up $2.62. What is the VIX? The VIX is a volatility index. It's a fear index. The higher it goes, the more fear you have in the market. The higher the VIX goes, the further the stock market goes down. Okay. So it's inverted. So the VIX is at 260. I've got it in parentheses, and I didn't buy but one option, and it cost me $390.66. So I bought one call, 741 July 20 strike, and I sold it up here. See this arrow? I bought here at 8:35 and I sold around 9:10. I sold it nearly at 7:47. Why did I sell it up there? Well, look at this arrow. It's overbought. It's at 70. Overbought's at 70. Oversold is 30 and down. So when it gets to 70, I normally just move out of it. Okay. Now, if I had bought 3 options or more than one, I could have sold one of them right there, and I could have put a stop just below that to see if it keeps going. But I didn't have but one. Okay. And so I sold here. And how much money did I make? I sold at $7.20. Remember, I paid $391 for it, it looks like. And so $719.33 minus $390.66, I made $328.60. $1.67. And that equated to 84% on my money. And just a little time, basically about 30 minutes. Okay. So entering on a 5-minute chart, this is just for a day trade now, 5-minute chart, RSI clicks less than 30. We enter, okay, and we're going to wait until that RSI gets up to around 70, and we're going to sell. Very, very simple. Now, what happened when the RSI got to 70? By the way, this is live. It's 11:28 now, and the S&P is at 746.25. You can probably see that. And right over here. But anyway, what happens after it gets up here? Look what it did. It came down. The price comes down. And it looks like to me it's trying to flag. What I mean by that, it looks like a pretty good bull flag. And I'll show that to you real quick. And let's make a flag. There's a flag right here. And here's a flag. Okay, so there's your flag waving. And this is kind of the flag pole, if you will. So stock breaks above that, it's likely to go above this 747.87. So what that is positive. We're working on a bull flag. Why is it called a bull flag? Well, because I'm gonna take this out, but because we're up. Okay, even though we're down, if that makes sense. What am I talking about? The market's down $8-9 a share. The S&P had opened up way down here. You see this? It opens up right here. Actually, it opened here, got up to here. So it opened up at 742. Okay, so we're talking down nearly $9 a share. So when you start out down 9 and right now you're down 4, you're up. That's what I'm talking about. Even though we're down, we're up. Okay, hope I'm not being too crazy here. Okay, so the S&P, as we're speaking, is trying to fight back and get a little bit more bids under its legs. So we talked about a 5-minute day trade. I hope you get that. Let's see what else we need to talk about. We've talked about the 5-minute day trade. I've updated you on my holdings. We went over stock charts, FinViz, state of the market. I think the market right now, if you're thinking about taking money and putting it into the market, and I'm not talking about regularly dollar cost averaging, investing in your 401k or anything like that. I'm talking about trade money. I would be careful. I would only be interested in companies that are selling below 30 on the RSI on a daily chart. So we can go to that, and I won't talk about one of them, and that is Netflix. Netflix announced earnings yesterday after the bell. Netflix did not have very promising forward guidance. They even said we may not even be guiding anymore. Very negative. The stock opened up, as you can see, way down here at 65, nearly 65.41, got down to 65.08, and it's caught a bid. It was down $8-9, and now it's only down $5. Well, look at the RSI. Right now, as we speak, the RSI is 30.70. Now, today, by the end of the bell, if this thing clicks down below 30 and gets back down, $7-8 a share, I'm going to go in and buy a call. September 18, I'll probably buy $65, $66 strike, or I'll look at it and I'll do that Monday. It's just according to what's going on in my life. We'll see. Okay. So that's really the only company that I can see that I'm looking at and I'm watching. Everything else is not really piquing my interest. So I can go in and, if you have TOS, Thinkorswim, which I've had since 1996, they have a scanning portion just like FinViz. Okay. It's a little bit more involved, but my metrics here that I look at on my website or on my trading site, is $3 to $500, 1 million shares, and then $1 million market cap. And I've got in here, it gets below 29 at any time during the day, and it can pop back out. I'm going to click scan. We'll get an update on that. You can see there's 70 companies, and this thing populates. See, I've got a company here right now. It's trading at 39.48. This is a daily chart. This is what this is talking about. So I always just scroll up. I'm not even interested in anything unless it's 30 or below. So I'm looking at, I start down here at Irene, and there's Netflix, and it's at 30.41. There's Oracle. It's out of the 30. It's 30.08. This is live. Oracle's up $3 a share. And we keep going up, and the RSI is going to go down. I don't really see anything yet. And if you're thinking, well, where's your ions at? It's below, way below 30. And you're right. The reason it's not on this screen is because ions right now is traded 898,000 shares. And my metrics that I put in is minimum 1 million. Okay, so probably when it gets over 1 million shares that it's traded, I can click scan again and it'll populate here. Okay, or I could go up here and I could take the volume down and put 800,000 shares and click scan again, and it's probably going to be on the screen. Boom, look at here. There's ions right there, 23.80, and it is down 39 cents a share. Okay, just wanted to do that for demonstrative purposes. Okay, so the only company, back to Netflix, I'm really interested in buying Netflix, but I'd like to see it close less than 30 on the RSI, actually. I'd like to see some conviction there. A lot of people came in and bought it today, though. You got to hand it to them. So a good company, not going out of business, but we want to be disciplined, just like we were with Tronox, and we want to make sure that we buy it when it gets below 30. Okay? So let me stop sharing here, and let's go back to our site, and let me look at the chat. Okay, I don't see anybody in the chat. I've been talking to you for 42 minutes. So probably won't come back to you at the end of the day. I want you to have a good weekend. I've talked to you about earnings. I've talked to you about economic reports. We've talked a little bit about the 5-minute entry on a day trade when it comes to SPY, the S&P 500. We've talked about less than 30 RSI on the daily chart. And I've given you an update on everything. As far as the state of the market, I really believe that the market's in a hold right now. It's not a buy and it's not a sell. Hope you have a good weekend and be blessed.